If it's happening in professional wrestling, we're breaking it down. The matches, the moments, the rumors, and yes, even the hot takes. This is Pro Wrestling Focus. No nonsense, no wasted motion, just pure wrestling talk. Now, here's your host, Cody Springer.
From shocking returns to contract drama and major business moves, this past week in wrestling has been absolutely stacked. Brock Lesnar is officially back in the WWE, and the Beast Incarnate wasted no time making an impact. Karrion Kross and Scarlett's contract situation has the rumor mill spinning. Are they staying, going, or playing the leverage game? And if that's not big enough, WWE has inked a deal with ESPN that could change how millions of fans watch the product. I'm breaking it all down, giving you facts, my takes, and of course, a little bit of attitude right here on Pro Wrestling Focus. All right, let's talk about it. Yeah, we're going there. SummerSlam Night 2. Before the show goes off the air, Cody Rhodes is celebrating his win over John Cena. He just won back the WWE Championship. And Cody let Cena soak in the moment with the crowd. Crowd's on their feet. And then boom, that music hits. That damn Brock Lesnar theme hits. And 2 seconds later, Cena's laid out from an F5. After 2 years gone, the Beast is back in WWE. Now, if this was 2015, people will be losing their minds in a good way. But in 2025, after everything that's happened, this return isn't just shocking, it's complicated as hell. So here's the deal. Lesnar's been MIA since early 2023, right? The official story was that his contract ran out. But the real reason? He got pulled when his name came up in the Janelle Grant lawsuit against Vince McMahon. Let's just get the facts straight here before we start throwing chairs. Brock Lesnar is not named as a defendant. He's not being sued. He's referenced in the complaint. And those references are ugly, like real ugly. The allegations say that Vince sent Brock sexually explicit images and videos of Janelle without her consent. Vince supposedly told Janelle that Brock likes what he sees. There's claims that Vince even flew Brock out for a sexual encounter with her in 2021, which didn't happen because Brock was allegedly too drunk to leave the plane. There's also a claim that Vince asked her to make, let's call it personalized content for Brock as part of keeping him under contract. That's the context Lesnar's name is living in. Again, no criminal charges, no lawsuit against him personally, but his name is tied to this thing in a way that's going to stick whether WWE likes it or not. But here's where it gets messy, folks. Legally, Brock hasn't been accused of committing a crime. That's just the truth. His name is in the lawsuit, but in the not in the you're being sued part. Morally and ethically, man, this is still gross. Even if you believe Brock didn't physically do anything, you've got this alleged situation where a woman working for WWE was being offered around as some kind of perk to keep a star happy. And if Brock did request that kind of content, that's disgusting. Period. I'm not here to play lawyer. I'm here to say that being connected to that kind of story, even from the sidelines, is enough to make people feel some type of way about you. And judging by the reactions online after SummerSlam, people do feel some type of way. Now let's talk about the company. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE's legal department cleared Lesnar 4 weeks before SummerSlam. No one knows exactly why. Could be the lawsuits going to arbitration. Could be that they're close to a settlement. Could be someone in the back saying, screw it, we're bringing him back. Janelle Grant's team didn't waste any time either. They called this an attempt to sweep misconduct under the rug. They basically said that WWE's leadership has let abuse thrive for decades and hasn't held people accountable. And they think Brock's return is part of that problem. And this is where it gets really interesting. In the building at SummerSlam, the pop was real at first. People weren't expecting him, but within minutes of that F5, the vibe shifted. Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, people were pissed. Here's the vibe I'm seeing. Disappointment and outrage that WWE brought him back without saying a word about the allegations. Calls for accountability. Fans saying this undermines Triple H's whole new era of branding. Boycott threats. People swearing off WWE until Lesnar's gone. And they've got folks saying, we don't even need him anymore because guys like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and others have proven they can carry the company without the part-time beast. All right, so here's where I stand. I know some of you are going to disagree with me. Do I think what's in that lawsuit is gross? Hell yes. Do I think Brock should be judged morally for even being remotely involved in that mess? Absolutely. Do I think there's enough evidence right now to outright say he's guilty of something criminal? No, I don't. The truth is that no sexual relationship happened between Brock and Janelle Grant. But the idea of someone being offered up as a part of a contract negotiation, that's disgusting. Whether you act on it or not, I don't condone that from anyone. Now, Brock's back. You don't have to like it. You don't have to buy a ticket to see him. But I've seen people online saying they're done with WWE over this. And honestly, I wouldn't let Brock be the reason I stop watching wrestling. If you want to take a stand, that's your choice. I'm not telling you not to. But I'm also not going to stop you, or I'm also not going to stop watching because of him. Now, personally, I've had my issues with Brock. Years ago, I thought he didn't care about the business, just the payday. In the last few years, he's done some business the right way, putting over Roman, Seth, Cody, but I'm still not a massive fan. And as far as that whole WWE catering to MAGA thing that's floating around, I'm not touching that. I'm here to talk wrestling, not politics. That's how I've always done. Not only this podcast, but also in the past. You know, I have not brought politics into a wrestling podcast, and that's how it will stay. The bottom line is that Brock Lesnar is back with WWE. The lawsuit's still hanging out there. The moral questions aren't going away. And WWE clearly decided that the pop was worth the heat. You can cheer, you can boo, you can change the channel. That's the beauty of being a fan. Just remember, the conversation about this isn't going anywhere. And whether you're thrilled to see Brock again or pissed beyond belief, WWE is going to have to deal with the fallout every time his music hits. And that is my take on Brock Lesnar's return to WWE at SummerSlam. If you agree with me, cool. If you don't, also cool. That's why we do this, to talk wrestling. All right, guys, let's talk about the news coming out of this weekend that Karrion Kross and Scarlett are done with WWE. Gone, out the door, finito. Contracts expired yesterday, August 10th, And WWE wasted no time moving them to the alumni section of the website. Profiles gone, internal roster gone. Scarlett posted a classy little goodbye on social media, thanking the fans, the locker room, and saying, "Hey, we're open for bookings now." Kross dropped a video of his own, basically saying, "Yeah, my contract's up. I was open to renegotiating, but our last conversation left me profoundly disappointed." That's pro wrestlers speak for, "I'm pissed, but I'm not going to totally burn the bridge." Now, the kicker here, they were just working with Sami Zayn in a feud that actually had some legs to it. They even wrapped it up with Sami going over at SummerSlam, and apparently Kross was supposed to do the walk of shame on Raw, admit he was wrong about Sami, and keep that storyline rolling. But nope, travel plans canceled last minute, and they never showed up on TV. Here's the rumor mill. TNA and New Japan Pro Wrestling are already being thrown around as possible landing spots. And then you got the other camp, people thinking that this is all a work. WWE blending reality and storyline, which wouldn't be the first time. But I'm leaning towards this being the real deal, and here's why. They were officially yanked from WWE's internal roster. Kross's theme music pulled from streaming platforms. WWE doesn't do that unless you're gone. Scarlett flat out confirmed it. Kross basically confirmed it. Both are taking bookings. Sean Ross Sapp and others are saying that talent and creative inside WWE believe this is legit. So yeah, it smells like it's legit to me. Now here's where it gets interesting. Kross says he told WWE back in January he wanted to re-sign. Heard nothing for months. No follow-up, and then when they finally talk, it's disappointing as hell. He said he's not going to beg to work there. Creative issues were apparently part of it too. Dude's connection with the crowd was actually seen as a problem by some in WWE. Imagine that. Hey, you're getting over. Fucking stop that. That's wrestling politics for you. And of course, we gotta mention the book thing. Kross is out doing media for his new book, Life is Fighting, and ECW Press, his publisher, not WWE, told outlets not to ask him about his WWE contract status, which is hilarious because that just makes people more curious. Now everyone's like, what are they hiding? So here's my take. We've known for a while that their deals were expiring. The dirt sheets all thought they re-sign. Kross has been on fire lately. Top 5 in merch sales for a few months, which is nothing to sneeze at. But here's the reality. Merch sales aren't the main driver for a push anymore. Triple H runs this place differently than Vince. Hunter's philosophy is we make money with everyone, not just one guy. And while that's fine in theory, it also means someone like Kross, who's got the look, the act, the presence, and a damn good valet in Scarlett, can still get lost in the shuffle. WWE never really capitalized on the momentum, and to me, that's a waste. So yeah, maybe there's some political crap going on backstage. Maybe certain people don't want him in that top spot, or maybe WWE just didn't see him as a priority project and let the deal run out. Could this all be a work? Sure. If they show up on Raw in a few weeks and say, you thought we were gone? Think again. That would be great. But right now, based on the facts we've got, it looks like they're legitimately gone. And here's the thing. Kross and Scarlett are a package deal. You can take that act anywhere. TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, hell, even AEW, if they're willing to open up the checkbook. They're going to get booked, they're going to get paid, and they're going to be just fine. But WWE letting them walk? I'm sorry. That's a fucking mistake. All right, let's get into it. Big news in the world of pro wrestling. WWE is making another massive business move, and this one is going to have a lot of fans counting their pennies. We're talking about ESPN officially becoming the exclusive home for WWE premium live events here in the US starting next year, 2026. Yeah, the days of just popping on Peacock for $10 a month to watch WrestleMania, they're about to be over. Let's break this down because there's a lot to unpack. The good, the bad, and the holy shit. They're charging us how much? So here's the hard facts. This is a 5-year, $1.6 billion deal between WWE and ESPN. Starting in 2026, next year, if you want to watch WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Money in the Bank, all the PLEs, you're going to have to go through ESPN's new direct-to-consumer streaming service, ESPN Unlimited. Most events will be on the direct-to-consumer app, but a few will also hit their regular cable channels. WrestleMania is going to be the first event under this deal, so until then, Peacock still has the PLEs for the rest of this year, plus the Rumble and February's Elimination Chamber. Then ESPN takes over. Here's the kicker. ESPN Unlimited is going to run you $29.99 a month, unless you've got a cable or streaming TV subscription like YouTube TV, Hulu Live, Fubo, Spectrum, DirecTV, Verizon, Xfinity. Then you can watch at no extra cost. So for some folks, it's a non-issue. For others, that's a pretty damn big jump in price. Now, wrestling Twitter or X, whatever we're calling it, went nuts. You have people losing their minds over the price. And yeah, $29.99 is a hell of a lot more than $10.99 on Peacock. You also had folks who were confused as hell. Wait, if I have cable, do I pay? Do I not pay? Do I have to switch providers? Some fans were even saying this feels like content's getting too damn fragmented. Raw's going to be on Netflix, SmackDown's on USA, NXT's on the CW, PLEs are going to ESPN, and that's before we even talk about the YouTube clips, social media exclusives, and whatever's locked in the Peacock vault for now. And you know what else I've seen? Nostalgia for the WWE Network era. The one subscription, $10, every PLE, all the archives, no confusion. People miss that. And honestly, I can't blame them. It was clean, simple, and cheap. Now, to be fair, there are upsides to this. ESPN knows sports production better than almost anybody. We might see bit better integration with live stats, betting odds, fantasy tie-ins, hell, even multi-view options for the big shows. And for those who already have cable or a qualifying streaming service, this is basically free. You don't have to fork over the $29.99. That's a win. You've also got WWE entering the mainstream sports conversation on a bigger level than ever before. They're not just sports entertainment. They're about to be treated like a major player in ESPN's portfolio alongside the NFL, NBA, and the UFC. That's huge for perception and for sponsorship money. Here's where I'm at. This is a massive move for WWE. If you told me 10 or 20 years ago that WWE would be partnering with ESPN like this, I'd have said you were out of your damn mind. But this is a new era. The UFC deal with ESPN proved they could pull this off. And now WWE is trying to ride the same wave. But here's the thing. They're absolutely about to price out some fans. If you're an American fan without cable, and you're already paying for Netflix to watch Raw, and maybe Hulu or Peacock for other shows, now you're stacking another $30 a month on top just for the PLEs. That's not a small ask. And look, I get it. It's still cheaper than the days when we had to cough up $50 to $60 for a single pay-per-view. But WWE Network had us spoiled, man. $9.99 for everything was a gift. Now it feels like they're nickel and diming the diehard fans in the United States while catering more to international markets where fan engagement is hotter right now. I'll be real with you. This is not about fan experience. This is about cash. Big fat stacks of it. This is TKO looking at the UFC playbook and saying, yeah, let's do that. Now, will it work? Probably. WWE fans are loyal as hell. People are going to pay to see WrestleMania, no matter what app it's on. But I do wonder if some of the casuals, the ones who tuned in on Peacock just because it was cheap and easy, are going to fall off. I also wonder if we're going to start seeing more of these PLEs become two-night events like WrestleMania, because, hey, if you can sell twice as many ads and twice as many tickets, why wouldn't you? That might exactly make the $29.99 price feel more worth it. So yeah, huge deal for WWE. Big money, bigger visibility, but also more fragmentation, higher prices, and yet another reminder that in 2025, wrestling companies aren't just thinking about storylines and matches. They're thinking about platforms and revenue streams. As a fan, I'm happy for the business side, but my wallet's already tapping out. But that's my take on WWE's ESPN deal. Let me know what you think. Is this good for wrestling, or are they just cash grabbing the hell out of us? That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Pro Wrestling Focus. Before we go, here's your random wrestling fact of the week. Did you know that during his career, Andre the Giant once drank 119 beers in one sitting? True story, or at least that's how he told it. Whether it's exaggerated or not, that's still more impressive than some of the gimmicks we've seen over the years. Thanks for listening, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your shoulders off the mat, and your eyes on the 3 count. Enjoy wrestling and stay focused.